Happy Shin Day, everyone, and welcome to NoDQ Live. We are live on NoDQ.com, of course, and the YouTube channel, youtube.com/AaronRiftNoDQ. Thank you all for tuning in, whether it's watching live or on demand. Either way, I appreciate your viewership and your support. 20 years, NoDQ.com. NoDQ turns 2018, 20-year anniversary. There are two NoDQ meetups this year. One will be Survivor Series weekend in Los Angeles, but the first one will be June 17th, 2018, which of course is the day of Money in the Bank. Chicago, Illinois. Check it out. Check out the link in the description box. Come check out the NoDQ meetup prior to Money in the Bank in Chicago. Looking forward to this very much. This will be the first NoDQ meetup in Chicago ever in the 20-year history of the site. Hope to see some of you there. Please spread the word. Now that I got that very cheap plug out of the way, let's talk about Smackdown Live. Caleb Jacobs just sent a $5 super chat donation. He says, no hard feelings with Jeff Meacham, kayfabe broken. Caleb, of course, is bidding to get a wrestling trivia challenge match with good old JM Jeff Meacham. Why are people saying no sound? Is there a problem with the sound? Here we go. Technical problems already. Let me know if you can hear me. Sucka gots to know. But yeah, Caleb wants Jeff. The question is, will Jeff retain the title? He's got a triple threat match coming up. Everyone says they can hear me, so bro, to steal a line from Vince Russo, Killer of Demons, check your sound. You must have a sound problem. Now, let's get to SmackDown Live before I lose all of my viewers. Actually, I set the stream for 10:15 Eastern, and it's not even at that point yet. We still have like 7 minutes to go, but I like to start early. You guys know it. Sean says, love your shirt, Aaron. Thank you, Sean. Now, for real, let's talk about SmackDown Live. Interstate Kyle missed it due to work. He wants to know what happened. Was this a must-see SmackDown? The answer is no. It was very much a filler SmackDown. Kyle, you really did not miss much of anything. It started off with Charlotte coming out, cutting a promo about her match with Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott came out with her happy-go-lucky rock music. Doesn't fit her at all if she's a heel character. It just doesn't. She desperately needs a new theme song, in my opinion. Kyle, hook me up with some Panera Bread. Thank you. So we had Ruby Riott come out. She cut this promo. Her delivery was okay, but you could clearly tell she had a script, and she was just reciting the script that was given to her. They did play up how Charlotte is a Flair and she gets this advantage, but then Charlotte's like, well, there's so much pressure in being a Flair and the expectations are so high. So I thought that whole thing was good. But yeah, the promo overall, it was just very standard beyond that. It was okay, but I really have no emotional investment in the match. Speaking of the women, we saw Becky Lynch defeat Carmella, the Money in the Bank contract holder. I almost said briefcase, but I like to consider it a briefcase, but they call it a contract. Whatever. Yada, yada, yada. Kyle says, if you use my number when you go through the drive-thru, I should get 65% off. Kyle, send me your info so I can get 65% off Panera Bread. That would be cool, as long as it's not getting you in trouble. I don't know if non-employees can use that discount, but if I can, and you're not going to get in trouble, then yes, I would love to get me 65% off Panera Bread. Anyways, back to SmackDown. Becky beat Carmella. Not much to it. There's a tag team match on Sunday. Becky Lynch and Naomi against Carmella and somebody who I cannot think of off the top of my head. Somebody might have to remind me in the chat room. Who is teaming up with Carmella on Sunday? Oh, Natalya. How can I forget Natalya? Natalya and Carmella in a tag team match. Yes, thank you guys. Now I'm going to get 50 comments about it after I already said it because there's a little bit of a delay. I'm watching Mixed Match Challenge on the side screen here, by the way. It's Little Big, whatever they're called, the tag team of Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss against Naomi and one of the Usos. I think it's Jimmy. It's going to be bad if I'm wrong. I think it's Jimmy Uso, but I'm not really sure. I'm taking a guess. I hate to say it. Not much to say about the women's segments. They were okay. Okay, good. It was Jimmy. Thank goodness I was correct on that one because I love the Usos. I still don't know which one is which, but I love them. They're great. Yes, they do have Panera Bread in Portland, Kyle. Let's move on here. Let's talk about Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal. So this is really weird. Now, this could change. Here's what happened. It was your fairly typical match. Why does Louis D keep saying ugh? Is he having problems here? Anyways, Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal. You had, surprise, surprise, Bobby Roode at ringside. Yes, Randy Orton got a haircut, so he doesn't look like a 40-year-old soccer dad anymore. We had Bobby Roode on commentary. And guess what happened? What happens every single time that somebody's on commentary? He gets a person thrown into him. Thank you for correcting me, TJS. It's Bob Roode. Bob Roode was at ringside on commentary, and we had Randy Orton throw Jinder Mahal into Bob Roode, and then Bob Roode got up on the apron. Typical stuff we see every single time. Boring. And the distraction led to Jinder Mahal once again defeating Randy Orton, who, by the way, is challenging Bob Roode for the United States title at the pay-per-view. So what's going on here? Is Jinder Mahal being added to the match? To quote Lex Luger, I don't know. As of the Smackdown event, there was no mention, to my knowledge, of Jinder Mahal being added to the match. But knowing WWE, they'll just announce it randomly on WWE.com or their Facebook page or some crap like that. Otherwise, what was the point of this finish? If Jinder Mahal is not being added to the match, then I totally don't understand Mahal beating Orton on this show. Braden, what's the card? I will go over the card here real quick, but on NoDQ Review, we will be doing a full preview of that show. Apparently, Vito's coming back. I'm still not sure if he is on board with us anymore after the whole Virtue debacle, but I believe Vito's coming back. We will be talking about the pay-per-view and giving our predictions. TJS says, if Jinder is added, Randy's chances of winning drastic go down. That is true. Virtue says, I talked Vito into being on despite my absence. Well, thank you, Virtue. You're a nice guy. I appreciate it. Despite your suspension, you're a pretty good guy. Tony H says, am I all in? I am going to Chicago, but not for the Cody show. I'm going for Money in the Bank to celebrate NoDQ's 20-year anniversary. It's unlikely I will be going back to Chicago unless I completely fall in love with it and decide I have to go back. But I'm not going to go to Chicago in all likelihood for Cody's pay-per-view. Anyways, let's move on here to some of the other events that happened on SmackDown. We had an announcement. I was just asked about the card for Fastlane. At Fastlane, it will be Shin versus Rusev. There was a backstage segment. This is how they built up the match. Rusev was angry that Shin messed up Aiden English's voice. So now he wants revenge. And bam, we got the match set up for the pay-per-view. Chat Site Forums just left a $2 super chat donation. Whoa, I need a sip of this. Not going to say what it is because some people are getting annoyed with it, so I'm dropping the gimmick. It's water. Chat site forums said, what do you think about the guy falling on TV? That was hilarious, although it's kind of funny too because, yeah, he did slip, but WWE is all about the anti-bullying, and they showed a replay of it. So they're basically making fun of the guy and laughing at him. And from my understanding, I think he is a cameraman for WWE. So he must have slipped at some point, and they decided to splice in the footage and make fun of him. So this whole anti-bullying thing of WWE, and they're ribbing the guy. They're making fun of him for slipping. That's what I think it might have been. I think it might have been some sort of rib on that guy who works for WWE, and they decided to make fun of him because they did that replay awfully fast. So I'm thinking that might have happened earlier, and they just decided instead of reshooting the shot of the arena, they just kept it in and decided to make fun of the guy. Either way, it was amusing. Donald Trump. Whoa, Donald Trump is here, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room. By the way, we have over 200 live viewers, so thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Donald Trump wants me to address Greg Cherry's statement. I will be talking about that before the video goes up, so stay tuned for that. That's, of course, a reference to Wrestling Trivia Challenge. Let's move on here, and what do you guys think about Rusev versus Nakamura? To me, oh wow, Braun Strowman just put Jimmy Uso through the announce table. So I don't know what that means. He's raising his hand. Alexa just rolled up Naomi, and that's it. So due to the distraction, shouldn't that be a DQ, by the way? If Strowman, I'm confused. Strowman put Jimmy Uso through a table, and there was no DQ. No DQ. And then Alexa rolled up Naomi when Naomi was distracted. Maybe that's going to play into the storyline. Maybe that'll explain, maybe that'll lead to them being eliminated. I'm watching this right now. That would make sense at least, because I'm wondering how is the team of Little Big going to... Wait a minute, let's see. The referee saw it. The referee saw the power slam. So shouldn't that be a DQ? I mean, that would explain, that would be a way out for Strowman and Alexa to get eliminated. Remember, my prediction for this mixed match challenge was The Miz and Asuka. So how would Strowman and Alexa get eliminated? This might be it. They might do some sort of reversal here. Otherwise, this makes no sense. The referee blatantly saw Braun Strowman power slam Jimmy Uso through the table and then still counted out Naomi when she was distracted. Interesting. Really interesting. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close that. And no, I do not care about the cruiserweights. You people that are asking me about the cruiserweights, I said it before, I'll say it again. Oh, Horace says, first time being able to catch the live show. Respect, Aaron. Thank you, Horace, for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I wanted to say something about the cruiserweights, and my feeling is it's not important. Even if they're going to add cruiserweight tag team titles, unless the cruiserweight final gets a prominent spot at WrestleMania, I'm not investing in the cruiserweight division again. If they're doing this whole tournament just to have it be a pre-show match or a kickoff match, then why even bother investing your time? Just to watch guys doing flips? I want a reason to actually care about it. I need to be told it's important. If it's on the pre-show, that tells me it's not important and I don't need to check it out. Bottom line. Perception is everything. Clan Dylan says Triple H runs it now. It's good, dude. Well, let's see if it gets a spot on the main WrestleMania card. If it's on the kickoff, I'm going to laugh at all you that are watching it and wasting your time when the company obviously doesn't care enough to put it on the main card. So we'll see what happens. We will see. If it is on the main card, then maybe I will give the Cruiserweight division another chance. Let's move on here. The rest of SmackDown Live. The whole second hour was built around the WWE title match. AJ Styles came out for a promo. It was a good promo by him. He was interrupted by the record scratching of Dolph Ziggler, which, by the way, can we get rid of that already? I'm tired. 3 things we need to get rid of. Ruby Riot's happy-go-lucky babyface theme song when she's a heel. Number 2, the Dolph Ziggler record scratch. And number 3, the cheesy text over the promos. 3 things we need to get rid of on SmackDown Live, in my opinion. And there's probably more. I'm just not thinking about it right now. How about 4, no more matches where somebody's on commentary and then they get somebody thrown into them by accident and then they interfere and there's shenanigans. How about we drop that? We had Dolph Ziggler come out. That set up a match. AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler. They had about a 20-minute match that went something like 3 segments. And then we had interference from Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And I'm like, okay, you guys just did a long singles match between these guys just for it to end with interference. But there was more to it, at least. I think the match should have been shorter. I think it should have been 5 minutes tops. Alex Pershing just left a $2 super chat donation saying, not quite 100, but thanks again for the shirt, man. No problem, Alex. And by the way, for those of you guys upset about the whole Virtue thing, Alex made that $100 donation, and he's still donating. So clearly he's cool with everything. So hopefully everyone can forgive me for being a dumbass and bluffing everybody with that $100 stipulation. But hey, there was no Virtue on NoDQ review this week. It was El Virtuoso. You can't prove it was Virtue. He's wearing a mask, for crying out loud. So going back to the Dolph Ziggler AJ Styles match, we had Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn interfere. Shane McMahon came out, and I thought he was going to make a tag team match, but instead he made a fatal 5-way match, adding Baron Corbin to the mix. Basically, the original Fastlane main event minus John Cena. Mike B said, NoDQ is my favorite wrestling-related channel on YouTube. Great work. Thank you for that, Mike B. Much appreciated. I do appreciate all the support from you guys. TJS says, I saw the tag match coming. I mean, I think we all did. I think we all thought it. So at least there was a nice little swerve there with Shane making the fatal 5-way match, which I thought was a good match. I really liked the finish. I thought it was creative to have Sami Zayn beat Kevin Owens. They were teasing that Zayn was going to lay down for Owens, and I thought, they would keep this storyline going. I actually like the fact that the tease of them splitting up was done now instead of the pay-per-view. And realistically, that's how it should be. Sami Zayn should be wanting to be WWE champion at all costs. It's any man for himself. Anything goes. So I liked it. I thought it was good to add prestige to the title. Zayn is going to do all that he can to win the title. I thought it was well done. I don't think he's winning. I don't think anybody's winning other than AJ. I think it's still pretty obvious AJ's winning, but I did like the end of that as the go-home segment for the pay-per-view. I thought that was well done at least. Other than that, I feel like SmackDown was just The pay-per-view Sunday, not really looking forward to it that much. I'm sure the six-pack challenge will be a good match, but I think it's painfully obvious AJ's winning. I would be shocked if he didn't. Oh, I wanted to mention this fan. There was like one or two fans in the crowd that were heckling AJ, and it was very audible on television. One guy called AJ overrated and said he sucks and a bunch of other things. I thought that was interesting. I mean, it wasn't a very lively crowd when you can hear two or three hecklers yelling out stuff and criticizing AJ Styles. I think they were just being dicks for the sake of being dicks, quite frankly. Vince Out of Touch McMahon says, I paid them. The official AC says overrated, so I guess maybe he was the heckler. Somebody said I should take off El Virtuoso's mask for another $100. No, I'm done with the I'm going to do this for this amount of money. If you guys enjoy the video, you can send a super chat donation. There's a chat box below the chat box where it says say something. There's a $sign. If you like the show, it's basically like a tip jar. If you want to tip something, if you enjoy the show, or just buy a t-shirt. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com, pick up a shirt, pick up a beanie once I get a new shipment done. Pick up a NoDQ beach ball, which should be finished very soon. Vince Out of Touch McMahon says, if we get 500 viewers, El Virtuoso removes the mask. I don't know why he said Virtue, because they're two different people. Anyways, I think I said pretty much all there is to say about SmackDown. I think I covered all the bases. Like I said, the WWE title storyline was pretty much the entire second half of the show. No Usos or New Day. They were in a pre-taped promo segment. And of course, Jimmy Uso was on Mixed Match Challenge, which is fine. I mean, I'm tired of the New Day anyways. I want to see more Usos, but New Day, not really necessary. And TJS asks about the words being on the screen for the Raw replay. I mean, I'm sick of it. I thought that was lame too when they showed John Cena's promo from Raw and they were doing that too. I think it's worse when they do it for the live promos, but even still, it's so cartoonish, and I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. And I think a lot of people are not a fan of it. Are not a fan of it? Are not fans of it. Learn how to use English, Aaron. All right, let's move on here. Jason says, will the Bludgeon Brothers win the tag team titles at WrestleMania? Maybe. I mean, I think they're the right team to go against the Usos at WrestleMania. People have been saying for the longest time that Luke Harper should be getting a big push. So let's do it. Usos versus Bludgeon Brothers at WrestleMania would be a very solid match. And Bludgeon Brothers have been pushed very strongly over the past month or two. Here we go with another Carmella cash-in. Every single video I get the question, this time from Jamie, when will Carmella cash in? I don't know. Again, to quote Lex Luger, I don't know. I think she might do it at WrestleMania if it's Charlotte versus Becky Lynch or somebody from SmackDown Live. If it's Charlotte versus Asuka, then I don't see a Carmella cash-in at WrestleMania unless she cashes in against the Raw champion. Maybe she won't cash in at all. Maybe Carmella will be the first person to not cash in time for the 1 year period. That would be interesting, right? If she was the first person that did not even bother to cash it in. Maybe she'll get injured and then she won't be able to cash it in at all. The 1 year will expire and then everyone can laugh at her. Yeah, that would, as Alex Pershing says, that would be the easiest way to kill her career. Snipe Rider says she would be a joke. I don't think she has 5 months left. It's March, April, May. Isn't it like 3 months now? I mean, she's running out of time. She's got to do it soon, and you would think that she would try to do it on the show of shows, but whatever. I don't know. Maybe they played up like an injury angle. I don't know, TJS, I really don't know. Anthony says Ellsworth needs to return. Nah, he doesn't. He had his shelf life, I think. Mark Brown says have Carmella defend the case against somebody deserving. There you go, but does that person get a whole new year? Or do they only get like the 3 months left that Carmella has? That's the question. Is it even worth it at that point? If it's after WrestleMania, I don't even see the point. If somebody only has 2 months to use it, I guess they could use it right away. I guess it's better than nothing, right? NoDQ Virtue says, I am the James Ellsworth of NoDQ. There you go. TGS, I can't even say his name. I can't even say his initials. TJS says, 50-man Rumble question? So I guess he's asking me about the Rumble, what I think about it. I am intrigued. I'm not surprised WWE's using the Royal Rumble name again. even though it's been traditionally once a year, WWE is breaking ground in Saudi Arabia. This is a really big deal for WWE in terms of reaching out into the Middle East and making those connections with those Middle Eastern countries. 50-man Royal Rumble, it's WWE giving them something special. It's not just a random live event. This is a 50-man Royal Rumble. Will it be televised? I don't know about that. I mean, they're running a 60,000 seat building, a stadium in Saudi Arabia. I think it's possible WWE could air it on the network. You would think they're going to be filming it for posterity, so why not throw it on the network? I do feel like it might be a bit overkill to do 50, but here's the thing. If they do 60-second intervals, then I think it's okay. It's going to be a little bit goofy, and it's just going to be mostly entrances more than actual wrestling. But it could still be entertaining. 50 guys, it's a lot. It could be considered overkill. But yeah, if they do more than a minute with the intervals, then I think it's just going to be too long of a match. I mean, 1 hour is pushing it. It's just going to be a little bit overkill. So if they do 1 minute, I think it might be all right in the end. And if they just do it this one time, this is a special event, whatever. They're trying to expand their relationship with the people in Saudi Arabia. So whatever, it is what it is. I don't blame WWE for doing this. I think it's a wise business decision to do a 50-man Rumble and give Saudi Arabia something really special. I do think the winner should get something. Maybe a title shot at SummerSlam. I would definitely have something significant on the line in this match. I mean, it feels like it's more than just a house show. You got to do more. You got to maybe put it on the network and maybe have a prize for the winner more than just a pat on the back, or a trophy or something. They need a title shot at a major event or something like that. Dick, message me on Twitter or Facebook about that. This is a wrestling show. We only talk about wrestling here. Chris May says, will the winner of the 50-man Rumble get a title shot? Not a shot. They will not be getting a title shot. They will be getting a title opportunity. Get it right. Anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ Live. I think I covered pretty much everything significant. Anything else we will be talking about on NoDQ Review with myself, Jexy, El Virtuoso, and hopefully Big Vito. We'll be doing our predictions. We got the season finale of Wrestling Trivia Challenge coming up. And again, if you're in Chicago, we got the big meetup, the day of Money in the Bank. Check out the link in the description box. June 17th, NoDQ's 20th anniversary. Going to be a lot of fun. So that'll do it. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time for another edition of NoDQ Live.